This is real big. You ought to feel how big it is. It's on everywhere. You get a chance to show what we are all about, what Oak Ridge is all about, what the Carmel and Gray is all about, what the OR on your helmet is really all about. That's what you get a chance to do tonight. Make no mistake about it. We're coming right at him, gentlemen. There is no fear at all, only anticipation. Anticipation of the first hit, anticipation of the next hit, and the next hit. We're going to run them up out of here. Again, this is our house. Play like it. You seniors, defend home. With your life, if necessary, defend home.
Work, we come to prove one thing. That we still are Oak Ridge. We've always been Oak Ridge, and we're going to stay.
Pull it through if we stay together. We don't want no silver ball. We're not leaving with one. We're leaving with a gold one tonight.
As the captains are going to stroll out to the center of the field, the officials for tonight's game, the referee is Dale Condra, the umpire is L.C. Wilson, the linesman is Greg Porter, the line judge is Steve Long, the back judge is Jeff Kibwell, and the electric clock operator is Brian Jackson. They've got Tyler Powell and Jeff Courtney as captains, along with Nick Revez, and also Adam Baxter, the captains for the Farragut Admirals. Farragut hasn't changed much in their look. They look like the Dallas Cowboys. They've got silver pants, white jerseys, blue numerals, a silver helmet with a blue star on it, just like the Dallas Cowboys. The Wildcats tonight are wearing their silver pants, cardinal numerals, and white Cardinal jerseys with white numerals. The seniors are out to the hash mark. They are the co-captains, I guess, in this one. As the toss of the coin has been made, he dropped it to the ground, and I believe the Wildcats perhaps have won the toss. They have won the toss, and they will elect to receive. So the Wildcats will get the ball first as we get ready for this ball game here on WATO. Very much anticipated football game for the region title, and they flip-flopped this ball game. This game would have been about 2 weeks ago, but Coach Lucier and Coach Courtney of Farragut actually decided that regardless, they want things to go all the way to the 10th week of the season. Let the teams play rivals. Ooltewah is playing Soddy Daisy tonight. Bradley's playing McMinn County. Heritage is playing William Blunt, and we're playing Farragut. It's a great 10th week.
Oh, absolutely, and this is the way it should be. And you know, back when the days of the Clinton and a long time ago when they had districts, these games, your rival games, you look at the college world, you always play your rival the last week, and that's exactly the way it should be. Great job by Coach Lucier and Coach Courtney to think enough to move this game to the last game of the season.
And the Wildcats are coming on to Blankenship Field. The crowd is still on their feet. The line to buy tickets is still down the Broadway in Jackson Square, and we're about to get underway here on AM 1290 WATO. The Wildcats will be receiving, and the Admirals will be kicking from left to right. Farragut has not beaten Oak Ridge in football since 1993. Wildcats have won 13 consecutive games, including 2 a year ago. 21-13 in a hard-fought game at Farragut in the regular season. Then back here at Blankenship Field, the Wildcats took care of business, beating Farragut 48-0. But this is an outstanding Farragut team. Coach Eddie Courtney, their coach, having a little bout with cancer right now that he's having to deal with, and his team has really rallied behind him, and they are playing great football.
I did not know that about Coach Courtney, and you hate to see that with anyone. And I was just looking at the schedule, and the last time that Farragut beat Oak Ridge, the significance of that was actually the first game that I ever did on the radio with you. I don't know if you recall that or not.
I actually do that. It was an overtime loss back in 1993, I guess it was. As the Oak Ridge band is filing off the field, we appreciate you listening to us wherever you might be. I know there's a lot of people, and I don't want to take away from our listeners. Just what you need to do is turn on CSS, watch the ball game, and listen to our broadcast.
Well, I know a lot of people used to do that. They would watch the game on TV and listen to John Ward. So, who else? What any other way you can't do that? You got to watch it on TV and listen to David Clary, voice of the Wildcats.
And Scott Munger as well. And Aaron Vargas, our stat guy. And we also they've got an official TV timeout to start things off. That's going to get kind of interesting to get used to. Our camera personnel tonight, we have Taylor Lane, Michael Davis, Brian Salmonson, Josh Murray, and Nick Suttles. television timeout here. First ever here at Blankenship Field. You think if we told the officials we needed a television or radio timeout, they would accommodate us?
Hey, it's only fair, but that's one of the things that somebody had told me. He said, get ready for an extended game. These games seem to last a lot of times 30 to 45, even an hour longer than normal games because of the television timeout.
Darren Creek's our engineer back at the station as the Oak Ridge crowd is fired up as the Wildcats take the field and dropping back to receive the kick. And this is a typical Farragut special teams. They've got kickers, punters, but Spencer Gulmire is going to attempt to return one. He's standing with his heel to the goal line on the Jackson Square side of Blankenship Field. The kicker is number 81, Patrick Ladd. He is 6'1", 210 pounds. He is a senior. Let's see if he tries to kick away from the all-time leading rusher. Here's his kick. He hits it well, very deep, and it sails in and out of the end zone. A typical Farragut kicker.
For years, those guys have had great kickers and great special teams. Their punters are always good, and this year, of course, is no exception.
The Oak Ridge offense is on the field. The Wildcat line will consist of Tyler Trent at center. The guards will be Eli Manning and Alex Stewart. The tackles will be Josh Whaley and Tyler Lane. The fullback in tonight's ball game will be the senior Daniel Johnson. The tailback will be Spencer Gulmire. The quarterback is the junior, 6'2", Connor Gulmire. Wildcats have receivers. Ravel Coffey splitting out to the far left. J.J. Wells, no, it's Daryl Miller to the far right. 1st and 10 at the 20. Little quick screen pass. Ravel Coffey's got it at the 20, to the 25, down to the 30, and pushed out of bounds at around, or pushed down at around the 33-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 Oak Ridge.
Well, I believe the scouting report is that the corners of the Farragut may be the weak part of this team, and the first play off, they run that little quick toss out to the receiver, and Ravel gets it, makes a couple moves, and picks up 13 yards.
Ball is at the 33-yard line, just underway, 11:48 to play here in the first quarter. Scoreless game, Oak Ridge and Farragut. I formation Oak Ridge. Connor Gulmire facing a 3-man front. Another quick pass. Sails at this time, hits the official. It was intended for Alonzo Douglas, just a bit high. So the Wildcats, something they didn't do a week ago, really, that little pass. They've done it 2 straight plays. This one's incomplete. It'll be 2nd down, 10 yards to go. Ravel Coffey and Daryl Miller re-enter the lineup for the Wildcats. Nick Reve's a outstanding linebacker, is in the middle part of their defense. They've got a 3-man front, a 3-5 defense as the Wildcats come up from the I once again. Receivers left and right. I formation, 2nd down and 10. Connor wants to roll. Looks to pass down the way to Daryl Miller. He can't quite make the catch. It's incomplete. Thought maybe Connor might run the ball there for a while. It was intended on the sideline. Coverage out there by number 1, Lee Travis. And I told you the Wildcats' game plan early was to come out and throw the ball. We've had 3 plays, and they've thrown the ball 3 times. 1 was complete. The last 2 incomplete. It's 3rd down and 10. Wildcats have the ball at the 33-yard line, moving right to left. Once again, Alonzo Douglas split to the left side. Wildcats split out a single man to the right. Once again, I formation. Connor's going to pass again. Looks, there's a wide open J.J. Wells. He makes the catch, makes a move, dives forward. 1st down, Oak Ridge. Across the 45-yard line, up to the 46. J.J. wide open, 1st and 10 Oak Ridge.
It's amazing that Oak Ridge came back with that play. I know last week they ran that thing 5 times. It's a bootleg. You got high and low. You've got J.J. going out in the flats. I believe it may have been the tight end who's doing the post corner over there. And J.J. comes open, picks up a big 1st down.
Ball is at the 48-yard line of the Wildcats. The Wildcats split receivers left and right. Gaston Mitchell to the left. Single man to the far right. Oak Ridge from the I. The pitch will go to Spencer Gulmire. Moves across the 50. Spencer Gulmire runs over a man at the 40. Made him eat dirt as Spencer Gulmire rumbles into Admiral territory down to the 38-yard line.
Hello, Spencer. That time ran the sweep and a great big line. Did an outstanding job at opening up a hole. And Spencer gets into the secondary and just lowers his head and just runs right over Jeff Courtney.
That is the coach's son and a captain in the ball game. The ball is at the 38-yard line. Daryl Miller and Ravel Coffey split out to the right. The Wildcats come up with a offset I once again. Daniel Johnson, the fullback. Connor Gulmire, quarterback. The pitch will go to Spencer. He's got running room again. He's across the 30. Spencer Gulmire, 20. Spencer Gulmire, 15. Spencer Gulmire, 13. He carries Admirals down the the field. It'll be 1st and 10 Oak Ridge.
I tell you what, they ran the sweep to the right side of the field, picked up a great block on the corner by Daniel Johnson, and then once again, Jeff Courtney gets pummeled and then hangs on for dear life, and Spencer Gulmire drags him at least 12 yards.
10 minutes, 21 seconds to play in the first quarter. The Wildcats have the ball at the 13-yard line. J.J. Wells, Alonzo Douglas bring the play in from Coach Stanton Stevens, the head coach of the Wildcats. Oak Ridge has it at the 13-yard line of the Admirals. I formation once again, 2 receivers to the right. The tight end is John Baldwin, lined up on the left side. Here's Spencer with a handoff. Spencer, another big hole. Moves the ball across the 10, down close to the 5-yard line, where it'll be 2nd down and about 3 yards to go. Large gaping holes as Nick Reves makes the stop. Large gaping holes for the Wildcat back to run through.
Tell you what, Daniel Johnson is doing an outstanding job so far. In the last 3 plays, he's made 3 key blocks to spring Spencer for big gains.
9:36 to play first quarter. The ball is at just outside the 5. The Wildcats can pick up a 1st down at the 3-yard line. 0-0 our score. I formation Oak Ridge. Connor Gulmire under center. Will roll to his right. He looks in the end zone. Looks, fires, and throws it away. Pass is incomplete. Wise decision, I think, by Connor. He looked at the short man at the goal line. He was covered. He threw it up high to Jordan Murray, a little bit too high. It'll be 3rd down and 3.
Tell you what, the heads-up play that time by Connor. He rolls out. They do the bootleg, and of course, you don't have a whole lot of room to work with since you're so close to toward the end zone. Nobody was open. Instead of taking a sack, instead of doing something stupid and trying to force it in, he just lobs it up out of the end zone.
Wildcats need about 3 yards for a 1st. They'll come up once again. Oak Ridge crowd, the Farragut crowd, electrified here. 9:16 to play. Gulmire to Spencer Gulmire. Spencer Gulmire to the goal line. Touchdown, Oak Ridge! The Wildcats take it down the field. 80 yards. And Oak Ridge, with 9:06 to play in the first quarter, is up 6-0 on the Farragut Admirals.
You know, I just hope that Oak Ridge just keeps this intensity. It's the hardest that I've seen these guys play. Just an outstanding drive, a couple completions. Spencer doing a lot of running. Nice way, score quickly, and the clock is still running.
Once again to the line will go the Wildcats, and the kick is on its way. It's up, and it's good. With time will fill our score. 8:41 to play in the first quarter. 7-0 Oak Ridge. We'll be back in 60 seconds. Here at Blankenship Field, the Wildcats on top 7-0. The 74th career touchdown by Spencer Gulmire, and that is a new Oak Ridge High School record. He tied Corey Booker a week ago at Ooltewah with 73, but that one gives him the all-time record by himself. 7-0 Oak Ridge, an 80-yard drive. Ticked off clock all the way to 8:32 as a television timeout is on the field. Farragut is already anticipating the kick. They're already out on the field. Very impressive. Spencer Gulmire ran through their defense like it was nothing.
Well, you know, he didn't, I guess the first 4, maybe 5 plays, he wasn't involved at all because Oak Ridge passed the ball, and then once he got into it, man, sweep right, sweep left, isolation straight up the middle. Very impressive for not only Spencer, but this whole offensive team.
Winner of this ball game is the Region 2 champions and has home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Back to receive the kick for the Farragut Admirals. As we look for the guys down there, it'll be Ryan Kennedy to kick off. Back for them will be Marcus Huey, 6 foot, 160-pound senior, along with Andre Sterling. And here's Kennedy's kick. It's high. It's going to be fielded, and they run into each other. But there's a big pop on the return man, and he is dropped at the 20-yard line. The 1st down, 10 yards to go. Somebody, might have been Casey Reed, down there, along with a host of others. Timmy Fisher, along with Danny Pierce. The Wildcats are fired up for this one.
Well, they are, and of course, you know, with what happened last week, this is not a do-or-die game for them, but this is the biggest game that they've had, obviously, this year.
Here comes Farragut to the line. They've got an outstanding running game. They've got a 6'6" quarterback, and he brings him up to the line. 1st down, 10 yards to go at the 20. 4-man front. The handoff to the fullback. He's hit and dropped to the line of scrimmage. Tried to run the ball up the middle was Micah Devan. fullback, 5'11", 205-pounder. He got back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. It'll be second down, 10 yards to go. The quarterback for the Farragut Admirals, as I mentioned, he's about 6'6", and his name is Tyler Powell, 6'6", 190-pound senior. Up to the line they'll come. Second down, 10 yards to go. 8 minutes to play in the first quarter. 7-0 Oak Ridge. Offset eye once again. Powell, quarterback, receivers left and right. Quarterback hands it off to the back, dives for it, boom! He's blasted at the line of scrimmage again. Rocked backwards by Oak Ridge. Jake Vane makes the initial hit. It'll be third down and 9 yards to go.
Hey, what brings up a really big play right here. Oak Ridge right now is just absolutely on fire. Big play would be actually to Oak Ridge to make them punt the ball, get the ball back. Right here is a big play in this ball game.
Ball just across the 20-yard line. It'll be third down, 9 yards to go. They'll split out a single man to the right, Jovan Miller. 6'1", 175-pounder, a single man to the left. Powell brings him up once again. Third down, 9 yards to go. They've got the ball at their own 20-yard line. Powell back to pass. No, he is to pass. Goes across the middle. Pass is caught, I believe. John Baldwin was right back there with the quarterback. He thought he had handed the ball off and could have sacked him. He was actually almost standing shoulder to shoulder with him. It'll be a first down. Interesting looking play.
You know, to believe it or not, I've got the binoculars, and I thought it was a draw play. It was a fantastic fake, and John Baldwin was obviously saw the same thing that I did, but a big first down for this Farragut team.
Well, I changed my mind because I saw John standing right next to him. I said, well, I guess somebody else has the ball. Up to the line will come Farragut. The ball's at the 33-yard line. Offset eye once again. Two receivers to the right. 7-0 Oak Ridge. Four-man front, hand off to the back, trying to find a hole, finds a little crease and breaks into the secondary, moves the ball to the 50-yard line. He just found a little bit of a crease on the left side of the line, and that's Andre Sterling. He's a sophomore, had a great game last week. He's 5'10", 179-pounder. He is tackled by Coffey. It'll be first and 10 for the Farragut Admirals. The ball's at the 49-yard line. The secondary for Oak Ridge, Ravel Coffey, along with J.J. Wells, along with Connor Gulmire and Danny Paris. The linebackers, the Wildcats have Paul Bingham, Jake Vane in the ballgame, along with Troy Venable. Wildcats have Baldwin and Murray on the ends. Trent and Whaley are the tackles. First and 10 at the 49-yard line. Two receivers to the right. I formation. Offset eye to the left. Quarterback Powell. Back to pass, hands it to the back. He's hit behind the line of scrimmage and dropped right at the line of scrimmage. Wildcats got penetration that time, I think, by John Baldwin. And number 13, Danny Paris. It'll be second down, 10 yards to go. 5:51 to play first quarter. Oh, to have that third down play back. The Wildcats would have forced them to punt if they had been able to stop the quarterback in the backfield. Now it's second down and 10. Eddie Courtney, the longtime coach, good friends with former coach Bruce Lucier. They coached together at Halls. They coached together at Farragut and became the head coach at Farragut the same year that Coach Lucier became the head coach at Oak Ridge High School. Second down and 10. Powell hands it to his back. Good running room. Moves the ball forward and then is finished off at the end of the play. It'll be third down and about 3. That's Nick Moore. They've got some running backs that have got some quickness.
They really do. Neither one of them are real big. This guy's kind of reminds you a little bit of about the size of Danny Parrish, but a lot of quickness, very exciting, good ball players. Both of these two guys are.
More like 4 yards for a first. The ball's resting at the 43-yard line. Farragut moving left to right, trailing Oak Ridge 7-0. Farragut doesn't have what the play is. Coach Courtney calls a timeout. We'll take one with him. 7-0 Oak Ridge, back in 60 seconds. David Clary, Scott Munger back here along with Aaron Vargas. Wildcats on top 7-0 on the strength of an 80-yard drive, capped off by a touchdown by Spencer Gulmire. In fact, Spencer had 52 of the 80 yards on that drive, and now the Admirals trying to make their way down the field. They have it third down, 4 yards to go. The ball is at the 42-yard line. The guy in the red hat says play ball, and that means the television timeout is over with as the Admirals come to the line once again. Oak Ridge fans making noise come to their feet. Power eye right. They need 4 yards. Powell under center. 4:53 to play. First quarter, 7-0 Oak Ridge. Four-man front. Powell hands it to the back. He's in a lot of trouble. Turns the corner and is dragged down behind the first down marker. It'll be 4th down and about a yard to go. Is it decision time for Eddie Courtney, or do you play field position ball? Courtney is one of those old school coaches that plays solid defense, ball control offense, and win the game with the special teams by position. They've got it 4th down and a yard to go right at the 40-yard line. I say you punt just to kind of back him up, but I think he is showing a little confidence in his offense, or maybe they'll see if they can get Oak Ridge to draw them off sides. Oak Ridge has had a problem with that. As they come up, they need 1 yard for a first. 4th down, yard to go. Power eye to the right. Powell, quarterback, hands it to the back. He gets the first down by about 2 as he, no hesitation, as Nick Moore carries to the 37-yard line.
It's a big game. A lot of course, everything's on the line here. 4th and 1. You've got a good offense. You got a big offensive line. Go ahead and go for it.
Ball's at the 37. Farragut moving left to right here. We're in the first quarter. Very fast moving. Farragut band playing across the field there. It was senior night here. They were all recognized before the ball game. The Oak Ridge band players, statisticians, managers. Offset eye once again. 1st down, 10 yards to go for the Farragut Admirals. Quarterback Powell hands it off to the back. He's blasted by Tyler Trent in the backfield along with Jake Vane. Nick Moore loses 2 on the play. 3:33 to play first quarter. 7-0. Nice play by Tyler Trent.
It was, Tyler Trent in the first several ball games didn't play a whole lot of defense, and he's come along there to shore up a little bit of depth, and he has played an outstanding defensive line, of course, as well as is great at center.
Josh Whaley comes out of the ball game. He's replaced, I believe, by, let's see, for the Wildcats, Tyler Lane. It'll be 2nd down, 12 yards to go for Farragut. Powell hands it off once again to the back, trying to get wide. Tries to get the corner, does. Picks up a 1st down and moves the ball to around the 25-yard line. Very quick as Andre Sterling. Ravel Coffey there on the stop. It'll be 1st down, 10 yards to go for Farragut. 2:58 to play here in the first quarter. 7-0 is our score. The Admirals have driven the ball to the 25-yard line, and they have the ball at that point. It'll be 1st down, 10 yards to go. The Admirals have so many different running backs that they can run through there. It looks like the plays are being signaled into an armband that Powell has on his wrist as they quickly come to the line. 1st down, 10 yards to go. Ball's at the 25-yard line. 7-0 Oak Ridge. Powell back to pass, pumps, goes across the way. Pass is caught, I believe, at the 10-yard line. Great coverage, really, by Connor Gulmire. Only one person could catch it, and that was Marcus Huey, and he makes the catch just inside the 10-yard line, where it'll be 1st and goal, Admirals.
Yeah, very nice catch that time. The quarterback looked one way and came back to the other side, and with the receiver doing the quick slant, and somehow he got Connor kind of put his left hand in there. Looked like he may have batted down, but it was an outstanding catch that time by number 21, Jeremy Walker.
2:13 and counting. The Admirals trying to tie this one up. Ball is at the 9-yard line. Power eye to the right. Nick Rivez is one of the fullbacks in there. Handoff goes to number 31, trying to go wide, runs right into the red-shirted Wildcats, including Spencer Gulmire, who makes the stop for the Wildcats. It's a loss. Sterling is dropped back at the 14-yard line along with Danny Paris. It'll be 2nd and goal. Ball just outside the 15-yard line.
It's a bad decision that time. It may be a sophomore mistake as what's his kid? Sterling, I wouldn't say Hinton, but as Sterling was going to his left, there was a member that was actually blocking, and he decided to try to go around that. He should have cut inside.
Up to the line will come Farragut. 2 receivers to the left. Powell's driven his team all the way to the 15-yard line. They have an offset eye once again. Powell, 2nd down, goal to go. Back to pass, hands it to the back, moves forward across the 5-yard line, is going to be dragged down by Ravel Coffey, I think right at the 5. It'll be 3rd down, goal to go for the Farragut Admirals with exactly a minute to play here in the first quarter with the Wildcats on top 7-0. So both teams on their opening drive, impressive. Wildcats drove 80 yards. The Admirals have driven to the 5-yard line where they have it 3rd down and goal to go. And they have an outstanding field goal kicker, as we saw. So obviously, of course, the Wildcats want to hold him out, keep him from getting 6 as they bring in Nick Rivez once again. His dad was Fawad Rivez, who played for the Vols a number of years ago. As the Admirals quickly come to the line, 3rd down, goal to go. Power eye to the right for Powell. Wildcats stack the line of scrimmage. Powell back to pass. Fires a pass to the end zone. Man is hit and will be denied the touchdown. He is tackled by Oak Ridge as the pass was called on Micah Devan. Devon, it'll be 4th down goal to go. Let's see what Coach Courtney elects to do. They have the ball at the 2-yard line. Wildcats are going to bring in Lane and Venable in the ball game. Connor Gulmire is, well, Paul Bingham's coming out. And Danny Parrish is coming out. Coach Courtney wants to call, well, that's the end of the first quarter. Still have some time to talk about it. 7-0 our score. Back for the second quarter in 60 seconds. David Clary, Scott Munger, Aaron Vargas back here. Darren Creek, our engineer, back at the station. We've just got a score from the William Blount ball game, 17-0 over Heritage, and that's a big ball game for William Blount. They are hoping, well, they're going to be in the playoffs, I assume, but they don't want to slip up tonight against the Mountaineers. Farragut has the ball, 4th down, goal to go. The ball is at the 2-yard line. Opening play of the second quarter. The ball is resting at the 2. Farragut will go for it here. Scott and I were discussing that during the break. I just think you go for it. If you don't get it, you got Oak Ridge pinned back as they come up with the power eye to the right. Powell, a big 6'6" quarterback, under center. 4th down, goal to go at the 2. Powell fumbles the snap, rolls, turns the corner, and is dropped at the 3-yard line. The Wildcats hold as John Baldwin makes the stop, and the Wildcat defense thwarts the Admirals, and they'll take over at the 3-yard line.
Well, you know, we were talking about it during the break, and what do you do there in a big play? I think you've got to go for it that time. I'm not sure what they were doing. As soon as the quarterback gets the snap, it hits the ground. He's kind of rolling out to his right to help salvage the play. John Baldwin comes over from the defensive end and sacks him for a loss of about 2, but a big 2 because now Oak Ridge will take over, and it looks like Oak Ridge also wants to take a timeout. We'll also take one with them. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
Scott, it's a bad sign. My voice is already hoarse, and we're only in the second quarter. 7-0 our score, but nothing like that time we played Farragut, and your voice was completely gone.
Yeah, that was, 4 or 5 years ago or so. I could barely even talk and tried to only do it for excitement. Luckily, Oak Ridge won that game. It wasn't a very good ball game, as I recall.
Wildcats come up leading 7-0. 11:54 to play, second quarter. I formation operating. The running backs are from their own end zone. Connor Gulmire back to pass, avoids a sack, moves the ball to the 5, moves the ball up to around the 7-yard line. Got Wildcats a little bit of breathing room. Looked like he had pulled back to pass the ball. Saw nothing short on the short side of the field. Nick Revez makes a stop on Connor, but not before the slender junior picks up about 4 yards. It'll be for the Wildcats, getting Alonzo Douglas into the ball game. Also coming in the ball game, J.J. Wells. Oak Ridge comes to the line. The fullback is Daniel Johnson. The tailback is Spencer Gulmire. Connor Gulmire is the quarterback. 11:20 and counting. 2nd down and 6 yards to go. Connor will pitch to Spencer. Not a lot of running room this time, but does get free and breaks down the field. He's at the 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 45, 40. Spencer Gulmire, 30. Spencer Gulmire, 20. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Touchdown, Oak Ridge. Spencer Gulmire all the way down the field.
Wow, David, he was hit as soon as he catches the ball and must have broken 3 or 4 tackles, sprint straight down the sideline, picked up some fantastic blocks from 2 or 3 different people, and on his way for a huge, maybe 85 or 90-plus yard touchdown. What a big game breaker Spencer Gulmire is.
He has gone over 5,000 yards in his career as an Oak Ridge High School Wildcat as Oak Ridge prepares to kick the extra point. The ball is down. The kick is up. Will Hudson's kick is no good. Off the left. We'll take a quick timeout. 10:57 to play, second quarter. 13-0 Oak Ridge. We'll be back in 60 seconds. David Clary back here along with Scott Munger, Aaron Vargas, Jake Herron with us, our camera personnel. Brian Solomon somewhere in a TV timeout right now. Unofficially, the run by Spencer Gulmire, 93 yards, and of course that's not the longest run. Somehow the slowest man in the history of the planet, Scott Fisher, has the longest run in Oak Ridge High School history. That would be 98 yards against Heritage. That run places Spencer about 7th on the all-time list. Dave Griffith had a 97-yarder in 1951. Howard Dunneback had a 96-yarder against McMinn County. Corey Booker had a 95-yarder against Heritage and a 95-yarder against Saudi Daisy. That one, 93 yards. Congratulations to Spencer, and more importantly, Scott, the Wildcats are on top 13-0, and the Wildcats getting ready to kick off again.
And just what a huge play that was. I sat here and talking, I would feel much better about this game if Oak Ridge is up 2 scores. Well, here it is, 2 plays later, bam, lightning in a bottle.
Spencer Gulmire in front of the CSS crowd as the Wildcats kick it off, and Kennedy was inspired, and there's some miscommunication between the 2 return guys. He goes sailing into the end zone. The 2 guys looked at one another. Primetime player is Spencer Gulmire on regional television. Outstanding run and great start to his ball game.
Absolutely. You look at, I don't want to steal the thunder of Aaron, but he's carried the ball, 6 times, has well over 150 yards right now. Just a fantastic football player. What a joy to watch this kid play.
Of course, Farragut had Oak Ridge pinned up inside the 5, but they take it the full length of the field on the Spencer run. Offset eye for Farragut. First down, 10 yards to go. Ball at the 20-yard line. Powell hands it off on a draw. Nice play. They turn the ball up the field, move the ball for a 15-yarder, 16, 17 yards up to the 37-yard line. Nice play once again. This time the ball carrier was Andre Sterling. That guy has got some moves, and we're going to have to deal with him for the next 3 years. As the ball is put down at the 36-yard line, Nick Moore will see the ball carrier. Good. We get rid of him this year. It'll be first down, 10 yards to go. The ball's at the 36-yard line officially. 10:37 to play, second quarter. 13-0 Oak Ridge. Offset eye once again, 4-man front. Powell brings him up once again. 2 receivers split to the right. Powell hands it to the back. He moves the ball through the line and is tackled after about a 3-yard gain. Stop is made by Paul Bingham. The Wildcats on top 13-0 as we play here at Blankenship Field. The winner of this ball game will play at home against the Science Hill Hilltoppers, I do believe. The loser, if it's Oak Ridge, will have to travel to Sevier County to play in the first round. If Oak Ridge loses, Farragut will be at home next week if they lose this ball game against, I believe, the Bearden Bulldogs, but a lot to be decided tonight. Second down, 7 yards to go. 2 receivers split to the left for the Admirals. Powell looks over the situation, hands it off to the back. He runs into a wall of Wildcats right at the line of scrimmage. Stop is made by Oak Ridge. Jordan Murray, I believe, for the Wildcats, makes the stop. Powell back to pass. All day, fires the pass down the way, patted away and incomplete. Nice defensive effort by J.J. Wells, and Farragut will be forced to punt. 9:05 to play, second quarter, 13-0 Oak Ridge.
One of the things that if you're listening to on the radio, the quarterback, when he hands the ball off, he goes all the way back on every play and has his back to the line of scrimmage. I don't know if you've noticed that yet. That's the only time he had a straight drop back pass. Big old tall kid, he's 6'6", and they have a very, very good punter.
9:05 to play, second quarter, 13-0. Farragut to punt for the first time. Revelle standing back at the 20-yard line. Here's the snap. The punt is away. Long spiraling kick out of bounds. Going to go out of bounds at around the 20-yard line. That was a missile, and it went right to where I'm sure he wanted it to go, maybe a little bit farther up the field. Just an outstanding punt.
Well, you got a good kicker like that. He can kick it right or left. They are not going to kick it to Revelle Coffey. They've seen Revelle Coffey take many kickoffs back for touchdowns and to do the electrifying things that he's done. They're not going to give him the ball and have him turn this ball game around and making a 20-point lead.
13-0 Oak Ridge. 8 minutes, 58 seconds to play second quarter. Wildcats of Oak Ridge and the Farragut Admirals. Great rivalry. Hasn't been a long one in terms of, if you look at the Clinton, their central rivals, dates back to the 70s, but it's been a great one. Oak Ridge first and 10. Connor to pitch to Danny Parrish at tailback. He's at the 25. Down the field he goes to the 30, to the 35, to the 40, to the 45, to the 50-yard line. Might be a hold Back here at the line of scrimmage, though, Danny Paris hadn't gotten a lot of carries. He almost went 35 yards there or more, but I think we're going to probably have a hold against Oak Ridge. That's tough because if you remember, just a week or so ago, Danny Paris had a touchdown call back because of a hold.
Yeah, he just had some bad luck that time they ran the sweep, and he saw a little gap and came inside and then actually cut all the way across the field and had a great run. And he's the fastest kid on this team. He ended up getting tackled from behind. That guy had an angle on, I'm sure he'll want me to say. But holding, big penalty right there, backs it all the way up to the 12-yard line.
It'll be first down and 20 yards to go for the Wildcats. Wildcats split out Alonzo Douglas to the right, Ravel Coffey to the left. I formation, Daniel Johnson is the fullback. The tailback is Danny Paris. Here's a pass down the way to Alonzo. It's almost intercepted. Should have been. Could have been. Not a great pass. Javon Miller was the intended receiver. Alonzo was there, but so was Javon Miller. And Connor and the Wildcats very fortunate that one wasn't picked off.
Yeah, absolutely. They just ran the post in the middle of the field, and Connor looked like he kind of overthrew it a little bit. And Javon Miller, the free safety, is back there, has a chance to make a fairly easy interception, just goes through his hands, and I'm sure that young man would like to have that play back.
J.J. Wells split to the far right. Ravel Coffey. No, that's Daryl Miller split to the left. Back in the ball game, Connor Gulmire, quarterback, second down and 19. The pitch will go to Danny Paris. Got a block from his fullback, reverses field, stumbles forward, and then goes down. Behind the line of scrimmage, there'll be a loss of a yard. Try to go east and west. You just really can't do that with this Farragut defense. They are so solid. You need to go north and south. And that time, Danny looking for a hold, no place to go. I kind of like the idea they're getting Spencer a little bit of a break. If you remember last week's ball game, Connor had the long 100-yard interception return. They thought that he never got his legs back the rest of the ball game.
Absolutely. Connor was tired. Had that 100-yard run, and he was tired for the rest of the game. Didn't really show up at quarterback, but it definitely showed up on the defensive side of the ball.
Third down, 21 yards to go. The pitch will go to Danny Paris. Danny looking for a hole and not really finding one. He's tackled at the 11-yard line. It'll be fourth down, and the Wildcats will be forced to punt. Just a terrible holding penalty, hurting the Wildcats as they had moved the ball close to midfield, but now Ryan Kennedy will have to come into the ball game to punt the ball away. Still a lot of time, and the clock is ticking. 7:25 to play in the second quarter, 13-0. They'll get great field position around midfield as Kennedy prepares to punt from his own end zone. Nice snap, no pressure. Kennedy's kick is away, end over end wobbly kick. It's going to be fielded by Farragut at the 42-yard line, and down the field to make the stop was Gaston Mitchell, right in his face. Good concentration by the Farragut return man because Gaston was right in his face. It'll be first and 10 Admirals. 7 minutes to play here in the second quarter, 13-0. Oak Ridge on top here in this ball game, which is being regionally televised all over the South on CSS. As the Admiral offense is on the field once again. First down, 10 yards to go. Powell hands it off to number 31, dropped behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a couple yards. The ball carrier once again was Andre Sterling. No place to go that time. It'll be second down and 12 yards to go. John Baldwin, Jordan Murray make the stop along with Casey Reed. Wildcats on top, 13-0 as we play here at Blankenship Field. 6:47 to play. Second quarter, the Wildcats and Admirals playing for the region championship. The winner is the champion. If the Wildcats lose, they fall to third, perhaps. Offset eye for the Farragut Admirals once again. Second down, 12 yards to go. Four-man front for the Wildcats. Farragut's quarterback, Powell, under center. Hands it to the back. Boom! He's blasted behind the line of scrimmage by Troy Venable. And the Wildcats drop him for another loss. It'll be third down and about 15 yards to go.
It's kind of funny because they've had some big plays, but how many? That's probably 6 or so plays so far in this ball game early that they've actually lost yardage on. So their offense kind of gives up a few, but then comes up and gets those back.
Third down, 14 yards to go. Ball is resting at the 47-yard line. Receivers, 2 to the left, single man to the right, single running back. Powell facing a four-man front, third down 14. Facing a little pressure, Powell rolling, looking, fires one across the middle of the field, batted away, and caught on the luckiest catch in the history of the planet. It might be short of a first down. Well, I don't know. Where the spot of it, the ball was tipped, I believe, and Marcus Huey caught it while he was laying on the ground. And it's close enough, I believe, for a measurement. very fortunate. Great play by Marcus Huey, not to take anything away from him, but he makes the catch. They bring the chains out on the field to stretch them to see if indeed it is a first down. And it is first down for the Farragut Admirals.
Yeah, you talk about some luck going your way. That time Jake Vane was pretty close to the receiver and just tipped it. And as the receiver had to change his direction, his feet came out from under him and was actually sitting on the ground, and the ball plopped right into his lap for a first down.
The ball is at the 32-yard line. 5:35 to play, second quarter. 13-0. Oak Ridge on top. Two receivers to the left. Offset eye once again for Powell, the 6'6" quarterback for the Farragut Admirals. The ball is resting at the 32. Clock running. Powell hands it off on a draw play. They move the ball forward for a gain of about 5 or 6 yards before the stop is made. Sterling once again on the carry. Number 13, Danny Paris, makes the stop for the Wildcats along with Connor Gulmire. 5:06 to play. We're in the second quarter. Oak Ridge on top of Farragut 13-0. The Wildcats and Admirals both trying to play for a home field advantage. The Admirals will be at home, win or lose, in the first round of the playoffs. The Wildcats have to win to be have the home field advantage, at least for that first game, home field. As the Admirals come up, second down and a long 4 to go for a first. Powell hands it off to number 33. He squirts forward for a first down across the 20. And number 37, Nick Moore, on the carry. Jordan Murray stops him. They've got two little quick running backs, and they pick up a first down. 4:35 to play. The clock is wound once again as the first down is signaled. They have driven down before, have yet to get any points. They have the ball at the 19-yard line. First down and 10 yards to go. Up to the line will come Farragut once again. Receivers left and right. Once again, it's an offset eye once again. Moore is the tailback. Powell hands it to him. He stutter steps forward across the 15, down to the 14-yard line before the stop is made by Danny Paris and Tyler Trent. Be a gain of 5. Second down, 5 yards to go. 4 minutes to play in the second quarter. Farragut has used a timeout. The Wildcats have 2, so both teams have 2 remaining. Trent's coming out of the ball game. Wildcats on top, 13-0. Under 4 minutes to play here in the second quarter. Quarterback Powell hands it to the back, runs into a wall of Wildcats, including Jake Vane. It'll be third down and about 3 yards to go. Once again, carrying the football was Nick Moore. Josh Whaley also there on the stop. Officially, they put him down at the, looks like around the 13-yard line. It'll be third down and a long 4 to go for a first down. 3:27 to play, and I believe Coach Courtney will call a timeout. Take a quick break. We'll be back to Blankenship Field. 13-0 Oak Ridge, back in 60 seconds.
3rd and 4.
Back at Blankenship Field, third down, 4 yards to go for Farragut. 3:24 to play, first half. Powell back to pass, sacked at the 20-yard line by John Baldwin, and Troy Venable didn't fool anybody. The Wildcats all over him, and they drop him for a huge loss, and they'll bring in the field goal unit to try to attempt a field goal.
You know, I mentioned before, every time the quarterback goes back, he has his back to the line of scrimmage. He can't see what's going on behind him, and that time he faked the handoff, a long draw play, and by that time, Troy Venable and company were in for the big sack.
They're going to attempt a 36-yard field goal. High snap. The kick is hit on its way. It's up. No good. Off to the right. Farragut has driven down the field, unable to score again. Wildcats stop the Admirals, and that was absolutely just that last series of offense was just miserable for the Farragut Admirals.
Well, that's the thing I can't understand. You know, they move the ball, have a big play, and then they'll run 2 or 3 plays in a row where they lose yards, and then they'll come back and pick up a first down. Hard to get anything going, but they seem to have done it all year that way.
2 minutes, 48 seconds to play. The Oak Ridge Wildcat offense is back out on the field. The Wildcats come to the line quickly as Oak Ridge has J.J. Wells split to the right, a single man to the far left. Spencer Gulmire back in at tailback, and play is halted by the Wildcats. Not exactly sure why. I guess they didn't have enough personnel, or they weren't sure exactly what they needed. Scott, we'll just hold it right here. Great crowd on hand here, and Oak Ridge did exactly what they needed to do. They took that enormous Farragut section out of it. They haven't been able to cheer much. They've had success, but then they've stubbed their toe a little bit and have been shut out to this point.
Well, they've come up empty these last 2 times. Of course, they went for it on 4th and 1.5 or so. Didn't make that one. That time they're in a perfect position. A fairly easy field goal, 30-some-odd yard field goal with a great field goal kicker. He shanks it to his right. He's a lefty, and have no points. But I tell you what, these guys still, you can tell they're very dangerous, and they're very scary back there.
Just watching the Ooltewah ball game, no lead is safe anymore as the Wildcats come to the line. Offset eye once again, Daniel Johnson and Spencer Gulmire. Connor, quarterback, hands it to Daniel. Daniel moves the ball to the 25-yard line. It's a gain of about 5. It'll be second down, 5 yards to go. 2:39 to play. In the first half, the Wildcats on top of the Farragut Admirals, 13-0. The winner is the Region 2 champions and has home field advantage. The Wildcats, if they win, potentially and more than likely, would play the Science Hill Hilltoppers. Same with Farragut if they win this ball game. Wildcats have it, 2nd and 5, 2:19 to play. Offset eye once again. Receivers left and right. Connor under center, Tyler Trent will pitch to Spencer Gulmire. Got a block from Daniel. He's across the 30. There he goes again. He's at the 35. There's a flag down. It's going to be an illegal block or some kind of a hold or something. Wildcats are already starting to walk back. That would have been a first down. Spencer got to the outside, and Daniel Johnson just opened up a big hole, and he's done it all night for him. And it's going to be a hold against the Wildcats.
Yeah, absolutely. And David, I don't know, the official that threw that thing's got, he needs to play quarterback because he threw that thing about 15 yards. And I'm not sure who it is, if it's the same person, but you know, it's 2 plays coming out, first play of a drive where Oak Ridge has had to back it up after a long game.
Wildcats on top, 13-0. Last year, Oak Ridge beat Farragut at Farragut in the regular season, 21-13. Beat him in the playoffs, 48-0. You have to go all the way back to 1993, the last time Farragut beat Oak Ridge. This is an outstanding, the best Farragut team we've played in years, as Wildcats come to the line, leading 13-0. It'll be second down, 5 yards to go. Connor fumbles the snap and has to fall on it. Because of where the hold was, the 10 yards did not really hurt them that badly, but that play was a negative play, and it's now going to be third down at about 7. Farragut has one more timeout to stop the clock. The Wildcats need a first down here. It'll be third down in about 8. 90 seconds to play in the first half.
You know, what you don't want to do here is have to give up the ball. And, you know, we just mentioned about what great athletes this Farragut team has. You'd hate to give them the ball in any kind of field position where they're going to have an opportunity to score right before halftime.
High formation once again. Receivers left and right for Connor. Third down and 5. Spencer Gulmire trying to find a hole. Not a big hole there. It'll be fourth down. Let's see if Farragut calls a timeout here. Their final timeout as the play is halted. And timeout is asked for by the Admirals. They have no timeouts remaining, but they're going to have a minute 2 to get down the field. And they do have a good field goal kicker. And just a couple little plays, the fumbled snap there and the holding calls, 2 of them have really hurt the Wildcats. You don't want to give Farragut an opportunity to get some momentum. We saw Ooltewah get that kind of momentum in the ball game a week ago, and they're going to get their hands on the ball. No timeouts left, but it'll be just under a minute to play.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, they've got a potent offense, so you don't want to give them the ball. But obviously, if Oak Ridge doesn't try to fake it here, which I would highly doubt, they're going to end up getting the ball. But they like to do the play action passes. They like to do that draw. And one of the things that we've seen in the last couple of weeks, especially, Oak Ridge has been a little bit susceptible to that draw play.
I think it's been Greg Porter who's been calling the holding calls. I believe he's the linesman down there as the Wildcats, Ryan Kennedy, prepares to punt the ball away. The Admirals have a couple guys back at the 40. Ryan, fourth down, 3 yards to go. Senior kicker for the Wildcats. It's a good snap by Casey Reed. Plenty of time. He kicks the kick. Oh, man, he got a big one off. All the way back inside the 30-yard line. Giving ground and coming up the sideline. Giving ground and is going to go down. Timmy Fisher and company back at the 32-yard line. The Wildcats needed a big kick, and they got one from their senior kicker.
He did. Ryan Kennedy just unloaded one. Maybe his best kick all year. Just a high floater, and ends up turning over in good coverage as well. As Farragut now will take over with 48 seconds left in this first half on their own 32-yard line.
13-0 Oak Ridge on top. 48 seconds to play. Long field to drive as they wait for the play from the sideline, brought in by Marcus Huey, senior wide receiver. Also coming in the ball game, Lee Travis. He is a 6', 165-pound wide receiver. Splitting out to the left, Jeff Courtney, along with one other as they come to the line. Quarterback Powell under center, facing a four-man front. First down, 10 yards to go for Farragut. The ball at the 32-yard line. Powell back to pass, feeling pressure all day. Cranks it up long, down the field, intercepted. Oak Ridge, undropped. Or do they say it's a catch? Connor had it. They're going to say it is incomplete. Connor was in position, but he was a little bit off balance, twisting and turning, and it is incomplete. It'll bring up second down and 10 yards to go.
You know, I thought he had it there for a second. I think when he jumped up, he had to land somewhere, and it looks like he may have taken one of his hands off the ball to brace his fall. And the referees actually kind of got together there, may have thought they might have actually given it to him, but they say incomplete pass with 36 seconds. Farragut has the ball, 2nd and 10.
Ball is at the 32-yard line. They're moving right to left. Both fans will be performing at halftime. Oak Ridge on top, 13-0. 36 seconds on the clock. Two receivers to the right, two to the left. They have a running back there. It's a shotgun. Saw enough of that last week. Powell, quarterback, back to pass. Cranks it up down the field long. Intercepted again by Oak Ridge. This time it is Mr. Paul Bingham at the 32-yard line. And Oak Ridge will take over. Same play, nearly the same result. This time Paul hangs on to it, and the Wildcats take over 1st and 10.
Now let me ask you, Oak Ridge still has one timeout left at 29 seconds. They've got pretty good field position. They've got the ball on their own 32-yard line. They try to score, halfback pass, maybe some kind of trickery. You know, Oak Ridge in the last 4 or 5 games, I believe, have actually started the ball game off with some kind of a little trick play. May see one right here.
Wildcats split out. Ravel Coffey to the right. I don't believe so. Just by this formation, I don't think they're going to use the halfback pass, obviously. With Ravel split out to the right. He's got single coverage. Connor Gulmire will pitch to Spencer. He gets a block once again. Spencer cuts back across the grain, down the field to the 45. Spencer Gulmire picks up a first down and almost took it for another touchdown.
It really did, and the chains now will be moved, and the clock has stopped, so Oak Ridge will get another couple plays off. And it looks like Coach Stevens is actually going to want a timeout, and we'll take one with them. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
David Clary, Scott Munger back here along with Aaron Vargas, Jake Herron, Michael Davis, our camera personnel, along with Brian Solmonson, Josh Murray. Michael Davis got a television timeout as well, extending this one. 20 seconds to play. The Wildcats have it at their own, close to the 45-yard line, leading 13-0. Farragut has got to feel a bit frustrated here. They've had some success, but the Wildcat defense has also made big plays when they've had to, and Spencer has been just Spencer today. Just an outstanding ball game for the all-time leading rusher, the all-time leading career offense man, the all-time leading touchdown man in Oak Ridge history. Three receivers to the right. Here's the pitch to Spencer. Spencer moves the ball to the 50. First down again as he brings the ball across the 45-yard line. Clock is stopped. Spencer Gulmire is nearly unstoppable tonight.
Unbelievable how hard he's running. That time he just took 3 or 4 Farragut animals with him, and I believe we'll just have a spike of the ball right here.
Spencer needs a blow, I think, as indeed Connor Spikes stops the clock with 10 seconds. The Wildcats have moved the ball into Admiral territory. I tell you, a regional audience is getting a chance to see what we have had the pleasure to see for the last 4 years.
You know, absolutely. I'm not sure, you may know a little bit more about where Spencer is in the whole recruiting thing. And, you know, hopefully there's somebody looking at home who hasn't watched or hasn't seen Spencer or haven't heard of him. Well, he's putting on an absolute clinic tonight. Wildcats have it.
Second down and 10 seconds to play. I formation, two receivers to the left. Connor Gulmire will pitch it to Spencer. Spencer once again across the 40. He cuts to the outside, picks up a first down. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Spencer Gulmire has the ball at the 28-yard line. Only 2 seconds to play, and the chains are moved. The Wildcats will have one opportunity here. And the clock is wound. He spikes it with 1 second to play. Wildcats tried nothing fancy, just gave it to Spencer. and the Wildcats are going to go for a long field goal.
I tell you, it's good clock management that time. You're sitting there hoping, you know, that they get everything done in time to do it. And there were 1 tick left on the clock as Oak Ridge is now trying, what is it, David, a 46-yard field goal.
In the middle of the field, Jason Lewis to hold, Casey Reed to snap, Ryan Kennedy, no. That'll be Will Hudson to attempt. Good snap, hold, kick is on its way, hits it well, it's off, and it is no good. Just off to the left as the first half comes to a close. And a great first half of football for high school football fans everywhere as the Wildcats lead it by a score of 13-0. Scott, your thoughts of the first half?
I don't know, David. I'm worn out. This is actually, it's kill. I woke up at 5:30 this morning thinking about this game, and so far it has been just a great game. Farragut has knocked on the door a couple times, couldn't get in. This Oak Ridge offense right now is just really clicking. The offensive line, Daniel Johnson, I cannot say enough about this kid. Playing fullback has done just an outstanding job blocking, and then there's Spencer. So the offense has looked really good. Defense has allowed Farragut to get some yards, but you know, haven't gotten into the end zone. So it's been a dynamite first half.
There's our old broadcast partner, Michael Langenberg, in the press box with us here. Let's see. Let me hand the mic back to, well, yeah, let's hand the mic back to Aaron Vargas here. He's got the scoring summary, such as it is, and the first half statistics. Aaron?
So the Wildcats, as they walk back to the locker room, very happy with this halftime score as they lead at 13-0. The Wildcats started the game on their own 20, and the first play of the game was a 13-yard screen pass from Connor to Ravel Coffey, and then on a 3rd and long, a 15-yard pass from Connor Gulmire to J.J. Wells gives them the first down and keeps the drive alive. And then a 14-yard run by Spencer Gulmire, and then a big 25-yard run by Spencer Gulmire as he drags people along, and they finally bring him down on the 5-yard line. Then after a couple of plays, they hand the ball right back to Spencer Gulmire, who takes it into the end zone, and he finds himself in the record books again as the all-time TD rusher in Oak Ridge history. And that makes the score 7-0 with about 8 minutes and 45 seconds left in the first quarter. Then the Farragut Admirals started their drive on their own 20. And on 3rd and long, a 12-yard pass from the quarterback Powell to the wide receiver Miller keeps the drive alive. And then on 4th and 1 with about 4 minutes left, they converted on a 3-yard run from the sophomore Andre Sterling. And then a 15-yard pass puts the Admirals on the Wildcats 10. But then a big sack loses 5 yards. And then another 10-yard run puts them back on the 5. When a pass puts them on the 1, and it's 4th and goal on the 1 when time expires in the first quarter, so the coach has time to think about what he wants to do. Then on the opening play in the second quarter, on 4th and goal, they fumble the snap and they turn the ball over on downs as the dark side stuffs the Farragut offense. Then as the Wildcats take over on their own 3, a 4-yard scramble by Connor Gulmire gives them a little bit of breathing room. Then a big 93-yard scamper by Spencer Gulmire finds himself into the end zone to make it 13-0 Wildcats. Then the next drive by each team resulted in a punt. And then the Admirals start on the Oak Ridge 43 after a short punt. But then a couple losses by the running back Sterling makes it 3rd and long, but another long pass by Powell to Huey, the wide receiver, converts it. Then again they find themselves in a 3rd down situation when Troy Venable comes up with a big sack and a 7-yard loss to make them to force a field goal. But the 36-yard field goal was missed to make it 13-0, and the Wildcats still have the lead and keep the Admirals scoreless. Then the Admirals threaten again, and a booming punt starts them on their own 32, but then the pass is intercepted by Paul Bingham to turn the ball back over to the Wildcats. Then the Wildcats, starting on their own 33, give the ball to Spencer Gulmire, who gets it into Admiral territory, and then a 45-yard field goal is missed by Will Hudson, and that's where the second quarter came to a close as the lead remains at 13-0 for the Wildcats. Oak Ridge has 225 yards and 9 first downs, and Farragut has 8 first downs on 117 yards. Andre Sterling, the sophomore, has 37 yards on 9 carries, and then Nick Moore is the leading rusher with 42 yards on 11 carries. The 6'6" Tyler Powell is 4 for 7 from the quarterback position for 45 yards. So most of his passes going to Javon Miller, who has 2 receptions for 27 yards. Marcus Huey also added his effort with 1 reception for 14 yards. And then now for the Wildcats, Daniel Johnson had 1 carry for 5 yards. Connor Gulmire had 2 carries for 2 yards. And Spencer Gulmire had 9 carries for 189 yards and 2 touchdowns in the first half. Connor Gulmire went 2 for 6 for 28 yards. 1 pass going to Ravel Coffey and the other going to J.J. Wells for 15 yards. And that's all the offense in this first half, as the Wildcats lead at 13-0, and the Farragut band is now playing on the field, as the Oak Ridge band also starts to get ready. And here's Dave Clark.
Thanks a lot, Aaron. We're going to take a break. 189 yards in the first half for Spencer Gulmire. That's outstanding. We're going to take a break here, send it back to our engineer. Back in the studios, Darren Creek. When we come back, we'll run down the scores of other ball games. Of course, we have a very abbreviated schedule because of most of the games. A lot of the games were played last night. We'll take a break. We'll send it back to Darren Creek. When we come back, he'll run down scores of other games. Oak Ridge on top 13-0. We'll be back following this 3-minute timeout. The kickoff. Line drive kick. It's going to bounce. No, it's going to be fielded at the 5 to the 10 to the 15 to the 20, 25-yard line, and that is where the stop is made. Stop is made by Timmy Fisher of the Wildcats, 5'8", 170-pounder. Saw his cousin Scott Fisher up in the press box right before the game. This game has brought back a lot of alumni, including our old partner, Michael Langenberg.
Nice to see Michael again. Of course, we did this. We actually had 3 of us in this little bitty booth for a long time, but hadn't seen Michael in a long time. It's nice to see him and his family here.
You were thinner then, so we were all able to fit in there. As the Admirals come to the line, offset eye once again, 2 receivers to the right. Wildcats have 4 on the front. I'll set the starters in the second half first as the handoff goes to the back, trying to get running room, nowhere. Knocked down by Oak Ridge's Troy Venable, 5'10", 195-pounder. He's a linebacker along with Jake Vane and Paul Bingham. The Wildcats secondary is Connor Gulmire, Ravel Coffey, J.J. Wells, and Danny Paris. The Wildcat line consists of Josh Whaley, Tyler Trent. The ends for the Wildcats are Jordan Murray and John Baldwin. Second down and 10 yards to go. 11:25 to play third quarter. 13-0 Oak Ridge. 2 receivers split to the left for the Admirals. Backfield from the offset eye once again. Powell, quarterback, little quick pass out of the backfield, complete. Nice block up the field to the 30. Makes a tackle, no, makes a move at the 40, up to the 42-yard line. Oh, somebody had a nice block. Miller on the reception. Nice looking play that time. Nobody out there. Nice gain for the Admirals.
Well, it was when you looked up as the receiver has the ball, there's nobody out there. You think he's got a chance to get to the sideline and maybe go a little bit further than what he did. Somebody came and got a hand on him, and Jake Vane finished him off.
Tyler Powell is 6'6", 190 pounds. He's their quarterback. Receivers left and right for the Admirals. 4-man front, 1st and 10. Hand off to the back once again. Stutter steps, runs right into the middle part of the line. Had no place to go outside. Then Josh Whaley belted him at around the 46-yard line. It's a gain of about 2. Second down and a long 7 to go for a first down. 10:33 to play third quarter. 13-0. Oak Ridge on top. The opening drive of the second half of play here. Andre Sterling is the tailback back in the ball game. Nick Moore has played a good portion of the ball game. He has been hurt, as now Sterling comes in. He is the tailback. Receivers left and right. Second down, 7 yards to go. 4-man front. Sterling gets the handoff, tries to cut inside, and moves the ball forward for a gain of about 2. Another good defensive stop by the Wildcats. The first hit was made by Jake Vane. Called his name out a lot tonight and a lot all season. Jake has just had an outstanding senior year.
Man, he has. And, of course, last year he played a lot of fullback. I don't know if he's played fullback at one play this year, playing all defense. He's going to be fresh, and he is around the ball every play.
Jamie Qualls has entered the game for the Wildcats at defensive end. It'll be third down, 6 yards to go. Receivers left and right. 9:37 to play. Third quarter, 13-0 Oak Ridge on top. Powell wants to pass. Across the way, incomplete. J.J. Wells defending Marcus Huey. Very quick pass. Huey had no cluey. And the pass is incomplete. It'll be fourth down and about 6. That was bad, I know. Give me a...
I liked it. I thought it was very clever.
9:27 to play third quarter, 13-0. Ravel Coffey is dropping back to receive the punt. This guy can boom it. Kind of an odd way he sets himself up as he wants to angle it out of bounds. Here's the snap, the punt. He hits a missile once again, and it is going to go out of bounds. and it's going to go out of bounds around they're going to say the 13-yard line. He's going to look like the angle probably was closer to the 15, but they're going to say it went out the 12 or 13, and that's where Oak Ridge will take over. Good series of defense for the Wildcats.
It was, and that's exactly what they needed to do. They came out and stopped them on the first possession. Now, what is very important, this series right here, Oak Ridge has got to establish themselves like they did at the beginning of the game, have to come out with the same kind of intensity. Nothing else, move the chains, make this into a field position game, and actually, and it'd be nice if they chewed up a little bit of clock in the meantime.
Wildcats are waiting for the television timeout. We're on AM 1290 WATO, Oak Ridge Schools Television, Channel 15, and on the internet, prepradio.com. Stan Stevens is the head coach of the Wildcats. He's assisted by Jeff Lewis, along with John Spradlin, Garfield Adams, Chris Layton, Jeff Miner, Keith Jackson, Barry Saunders for the Wildcats. And help me if I've forgotten anybody. I think I've pretty much covered. If I didn't, Rob Spees, the defensive coordinator. Forgot about him, as the Wildcats will have the ball 1st and 10 at the 12. Great ball game as anticipated. Huge crowd, a regionally televised, and I say regional, it isn't just East Tennessee, it's all over the South tonight on CSS. And we, if you have your television, just flip it over and listen to our broadcast on the radio. We appreciate these guys coming and videotaping this one. Oak Ridge on top, 13-0. First down, 10 yards to go. The ball at their own 12-yard line. Connor will pitch to his brother Spencer. Spencer cuts back across the grain to the 20, to the 25-yard line. That is about a 13-yard gain. Marcus Huey makes a stop, and Spencer is now over 200 yards for the ball game. 202 yards. The all-time record is 301 yards by Eric Menifee against Fulton in 1984, and that record has stood a long time. Spencer, 99 yards away from tying that one. I was talking with somebody at halftime. He has every other record. He might as well get that one tonight. First down, 10 yards to go. The ball's at the 25-yard line. Once again, Spencer with a call. Once again, Spencer. Oh, he is hit this time. Tackled after a gain of about 3. Stop is made by Tony Manila. I tell you, whatever they've done with Nick Rivez, he has really not really, I haven't called his name much at all tonight.
You know, Oak Ridge is primarily running the sweep, and so far, every time they've run the sweep to the right side of the field, Farragut can't stop it. That time they went to the other side, still, he picks up 5 yards. You're an offensive coordinator, you'll take 5 yards on a sweep every day of the week.
Second down and a long, about 6 yards to go for a first. The ball just outside of the Oak Ridge 30, 8:15 to play third quarter. 13-0 our score. Danny Paris is in at tailback. Danny gets the call. No, it's Connor to Ravel. Ravel Coffey makes a move. He's at the 30. Needs to get outside at the 35. Moves the ball for a first down. Ravel Coffey 1st and 10. I was looking down at the roster change, and I looked up and I see somebody running up the middle. Then I see Ravel running wildly like Ravel likes to do, and he picks up a first down.
Tell you what, a lot of that too was just effort by Ravel. They ran the reverse, faked the isolation up toward the middle of the field, and then Ravel came over on the reverse, and as soon as he gets the ball, Rivez is there and just has an arm tackle, doesn't get him, and then Ravel ends up making 7 or 8 yards, but most of that was on his own.
13-0 Oak Ridge, 8 minutes to play third quarter. 1st and 10 Oak Ridge. The ball at the 39-yard line of the Wildcats. Connor Gulmire to Danny Paris. Danny Paris runs into tacklers everywhere and loses a couple of yards. TJ Enzer there on the stop as Spencer Gulmire is coming back in the ball game and getting a little bit of rest, and he's needed it as Danny Paris has given the Wildcats some needed time as Oak Ridge comes onto the field. It'll be second down, 11 yards to go. 7:40 to play third quarter, 13-0. Kind of an uneasiness in this one, both sides of the field. Of course, it is a very cool night and expecting temperatures down in the 30s, but both teams both fans on both sides kind of quiet right now as the Wildcats come up from the eye. Daniel Johnson's the fullback. Connor Gulmire will pitch to Spencer. Got a block from Daniel. 40, 45, 50, 45. Spencer Gulmire outside. 30, 25, 20. Spencer Gulmire. Touchdown, Oak Ridge. He has electrified the crowd once again. They have no answer, but there's a flag at the 20-yard line. 62 yards, and somebody made perhaps a needless block. No, they are pointing towards Farragut. Touchdown, Oak Ridge.
once again, Oak Ridge comes out, runs the sweep to the right side, and they cannot stop that play. I don't know, and Danny Parrish did a great job of blocking the corner, had a seam. Spencer sees a little cutback, cuts back across the grain, turns on the speed. Big play once again by Spencer. What a ball game. He has just absolutely been dynamite, and it looks like Oak Ridge may be trying to go for 2 to make this a 21-point game.
19-0 Oak Ridge. Spencer Gulmire now with a 268 yards in the ball game. And Farragut's very, very highly touted defense has given up just enormous chunks of yardage to the Wildcats here. 19 points. Oak Ridge on top, 7:07 to play in the third quarter. And the Wildcats indeed setting up for the 2-point conversion. Boy, Spencer is a prime time player. We need to get CSS to telecast more of our ball games.
Wow, what I mean, up here in the press box, he is the only person that everybody talked about. We've seen Spencer play big and come up big in so many games, but he's got a little flair to him tonight. He has just absolutely been on fire.
Wildcats going for the 2-point conversion, up 19-0. Connor rolls to his right. There's Jordan Murray, but the pass is going to be deflected. Jordan was open on the backside. In fact, the Wildcats had a lot of people open on that particular play, but it's incomplete. 19-0. Let's get ready for an Oak Ridge kickoff. 7:07 to play, third quarter. 19-0. Oak Ridge back in 60 seconds. For those of you watching on Oak Ridge Schools Television Channel 15, we appreciate our sponsor all season long, Ray Val's Ford in Clinton. Ray Val's Ford, they want, need, and appreciate your business. Join them online at www.rayvalsford.com. Back here at Blankenship Field, we're in the third quarter, 7:07 to play. This is for the Region 2 championship. This is for home field advantage in the playoffs. The Wildcats are on top 19-0, 7:07 to play. Ryan Kennedy will kick off. Of course, a lot of other games going on tonight as the kick by Kennedy is well, but fielded at the 3, to the 5, to the 10, 15, 20. Tackled by the Wildcats at around the 23-yard line. I think Gaston Mitchell was down there, and a host of other Wildcats. And number 13, it was Danny Parrish actually. Number 20, Paul Bingham. It'll be first down, 10 yards to go for the Farragut Admirals. And they've got to get their offense going here. They've had times where they've been able to move the ball, but the Wildcats have come up with big plays, and Farragut has shot themselves in the foot as well. As the Admiral quarterback walks out on the field once again, Tyler Powell, 6'6", 190-pounder. Up to the line will come Farragut. They're moving right to left. 6:59 to play, third quarter. Two receivers split out to the left side. I formation, offset I once again. Hand off to the back, trying to get outside. He's going to be moving the ball up the field to the 30, to the 35-yard line. 40. Breaks it free down the sideline. Ravel Coffey's got a good angle on him, and he grabs him and tackles him at the 35-yard line. Then a late hit is going to be called on Oak Ridge's Kevin Summers, and they'll have the ball about the 20-yard line. So the Wildcats make the stop, and that's kind of tough. I know he was down, but he was coming full tilt, and that's a defensive tackle right there, coming all the way down, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Farragut. Nice looking play that time. As the late hit is called, the Oak Ridge fans don't like it. But, he hit him late. He was already down. The ball is at the 20-yard line. First down, 10 yards to go. So not a lot of time off the clock, and the Admirals have it inside the Oak Ridge 20. First down, 10 yards to go. Courtney splitting out to the right side along with Lee Travis. Offset I once again. Hand off to the back. Cuts back inside. No, nice play by Jake Vane and company. They drop him for a loss. Back at the 21-yard line. That's about the quickest I've seen Jake Vane. He shot in there, cut out his legs, didn't knock him down initially, but then the Wildcats, Danny Parrish, and we've called his name out tonight. Danny has come to play. It'll be a loss of 2.
Yeah, he really has, and like you mentioned, Jake Vane seems like he's been on just about every other tackle. They ran the little play, and it's almost like a sweep as the running back starts going wide, and Jake Vane just shoots through there and ends up making a big stop.
Up to the line once again will come the Admirals. I formation once again. Two receivers to the left. Quarterback under center. Second down, 12 yards to go. 6 minutes to play. Hand off to the back. Runs in the middle of the field and is tackled at the 17 or 18-yard line. It'll be third down at about 10. Wildcats Tyler Trent makes a stop for the Wildcats. And Paul Bingham there, the Wildcats, on top, 19-0. 5:43 to play, third quarter. It'll be third down and about 10 yards to go. Quarterback, as I mentioned, he's 6'6", 190-pounder. He's a senior as Sterling now comes out of the ball game, and I like it when he's out of the ball game. He's a scary back as they come to the line here in a second. The huddle breaks, and here they come to the line. 2 receivers to the right, including Marcus Huey. They also split out Lee Travis. 2 receivers to the left, including Javon Miller and Jeff Courtney. Shotgun formation. Wildcats showing blitz. 3rd down, 9 yards to go. They have a blitz. Here's the pass into the end zone, intercepted. Oak Ridge. Here's Ravel up the sideline to the 20, to the 25-yard line, and he's tackled at that point. When they try to go deep, they haven't the arm strength to do it, and it's intercepted again, and Oak Ridge will take over.
They will. It was a great play that time. Had pressure from the left side. I'm not sure. It may have been Venable, and the quarterback had to throw a clear clip on the quarterback. I'm not sure who that was, but this play will come back. But Oak Ridge will take over after the interception.
Someplace on the field, the Wildcats will have the ball. Another interception for the Wildcats. The Oak Ridge defense has stopped Farragut again. He has a strong arm, but he's just not strong enough. He just lays it out there and hoping his guys will come under it. Oak Ridge will get it at the 13-yard line. 4:57 to play, 3rd quarter. Oak Ridge on top, 19-0. It has been just an outstanding ball game for these fans to be watching here for the region championship. Wildcats lead it 19-0. 4:57 to play, 3rd quarter. Receivers left and right for the Wildcats. Connor Gulmire, Daniel Johnson, and Spencer Gulmire in the backfield for Oak Ridge. 1st and 10. Here's the pitch to Spencer. Spencer trying to get wide. Tripped up this time right at the line of scrimmage by Stephen Moon. It'll be 2nd down, 10 yards to go. The clock ticking, 4:45 to play. Turnovers will kill you. Of course, the interception at the end of the first half, really kind of not a really important turnover. That was a big one because they were driving.
Absolutely, and the quarterback actually, as the defender was in his face, he had to throw the ball off his back foot, just kind of launched it up there, and Ravel Coffey just came over from his free safety position and picked it up at the highest point.
Ball's at the 13-yard line. Oak Ridge moving left to right. 4:19 to play, 3rd quarter, 19-0. The Wildcats in the lead. 2 receivers to the right. Connor Gulmire pitches to Spencer. Got a block from Daniel. He's at the 20. Lowers his shoulder. Runs over a man. Moves the ball for a 1st down to the 28-yard line. Once again, Jeff Courtney got trucked by Spencer Gulmire. 1st and 10, Oak Ridge.
That's 3 times so far in this game that the free safety Courtney has come in, and now he's actually going out, and I don't blame him. I'd go out after that one too, but Spencer just lowers that helmet and puts it right in the middle of the chest. Big 1st down for the Wildcats.
Ryan Solmonson doing camera work for us, along with Josh Murray, Taylor Lane, and Michael Davis. The Wildcats have receivers left and right. Darrell Miller to the right. Single man to the far left. Offset eye once again. 1st and 10. Handoff. Daniel Johnson. Daniel moves the ball to the 35. Daniel Johnson to the 37-yard line. Daniel has been outstanding tonight blocking for the Wildcats.
Absolutely. I cannot say enough. I know he has owned this number 33 over here, this cornerback over here. Daniel Johnson, every time he goes to block him, he has just done an outstanding job that time. Great call. They're expecting the toss sweep. They fake the sweep and come back with a fullback trap. Picks up 8.
19-0 Oak Ridge, 3:17 and counting in the 3rd quarter. Wildcats have it 2nd down and short. 2 receivers to the left. John Baldwin's the tight end lined up here on the right. Pitch will go to Spencer. Moves. No, that's Danny Paris. He has a 1st down across the 40 up to the 43-yard line. Another 1st down. Did you see that? The number 1 guy for the Farragut Admirals actually was more interested in the Wildcat blocker than making the tackle.
I didn't see it, David.
He ran right by him, and he was more interested in making a shot on Daniel, I believe, as I guess we don't run much option around here, but it'll be 1st and 10 Oak Ridge.
Where in the world has Nick Rivez been? I think we've called his name out twice. These guys, it's All-American. He has not shown up at all.
2 minutes, 52 seconds to play here, 3rd quarter, 19-0. The Wildcats on top. 1st down, 10 yards to go. The ball at the 42-yard line. Wildcats moving left to right. Here's Daniel running the ball across the 45 to the 50. Daniel Johnson rumbles to the 40. Daniel Johnson to the Farragut 38-yard line. Farragut cannot stop the Oak Ridge offense. They are running roughshod over the Admirals.
What a show this is. Once again, they come back, they fake the toss sweep, and then come back with that little fullback trap up the middle, and Farragut can't seem to answer that as well.
Another 1st down for the Wildcats. More importantly, the clock continues to tick. 2:34 to play. It's 19-0. Oak Ridge trying to win the region championship again and send Farragut to second place, and we'll get a full recap of the brackets hopefully at the end of tonight's play, at least on our side. First and 10 Oak Ridge. Connor Gulmire under center, Tyler Trent. Here's the pitch to Spencer. Another big block from Daniel. Cuts inside and goes down at the 35-yard line. It's a gain of about 3 for the senior. The Wildcats down to 2:07 to play. Revez makes a stop this time. Wildcats on top 19-0. There was a lot of trash talking in the Farragut press about this ball game. A lot of very confident young Admirals, and why not? They've had a great year. They have only the one loss, and that was to Central in the first game of the year. They beat an Ooltewah team 35-7. They beat Oak Ridge, but tonight and the Ooltewah team beat Oak Ridge. As the Wildcats come to the line, second down, 7 yards to go. Minute 38 to play. Connor will pitch to Danny Paris. Plenty of smooth sailing. 30. First down and more. Across the 25. Down to the 24-yard line. Can they stop the run? Obviously not tonight. The Wildcats are running all over Farragut.
Every time they run that sweep, with the exception of 1 or 2, and Oak Ridge has run it probably 90% of the place, they're getting at least 5 yards out of whack. That time they just tossed it out to the left side. Danny breaks a tackle and picks up another first down.
Number 34 for them, Stephen Moon, has had some trouble all night on that side. He's not a very big guy, stout. They list him at 5'11". There's no way he's that tall. The Wildcats have it first and 10 at the Farragut 25. A minute 13 to play, third quarter. 19-0. Oak Ridge leads. Wildcats an offset eye once again. Danny Paris the tailback. Here's Daniel with a handoff. Daniel with the 20. Daniel Johnson 15. Another Oak Ridge first down. 10 more yards. 11. Ty Cannon makes a stop. It's another first down. This defense has been talked about all season long as being perhaps the best in Knoxville. They cannot stop the run. Wildcats have it. First down, 10 yards to go. We're under a minute to play in the third quarter. 54 seconds to play. The ball is at the 14-yard line as the Wildcats try to go in once again, put more points up on the scoreboard. The Wildcats come up once again. Spencer's back in at tailback. He's already broken the all-time touchdown mark tonight. As the handoff goes to Daniel again. Daniel at the 10. Daniel Johnson down to the 8 or 9 yard line. The Wildcats just mixing it up. Fullback, tailback, fullback, tailback. And Nick Revez makes a stop, but it's another 5-yard gain for the Wildcats.
Just every time. At that time, with 24 seconds left to go in this third quarter, we may not get another play, but now you're just kind of curious as to what Oak Ridge is going to do next. They definitely cannot stop the sweep, and right now they've done a great job of that fullback trap.
Ball is at the 8-yard line. Second down for the Wildcats. About 4.5 yards to go. That might have been the final play. This will be the final play of the third quarter. Daniel Johnson with a handoff, and this time Daniel not a whole lot of yards, and that is the end of the third quarter. 12 more minutes of football, and one of these two teams will be the Region 2 champs. The Wildcats lead Farragut 19-0. We'll be back with the fourth and final quarter in 60 seconds. 287. The record is 301. Spencer Gulmire. Connor's going to roll it. Look to pass, dumps it to a man at the 1-yard line. It'll be a first down for the Wildcats. First and goal at the 1 to Daniel Johnson. And you got to give Daniel Johnson a lot of credit. He has come to block, and when he's had to run the ball, he's done that effectively. This time, a nice catch out of the backfield. First and goal, Oak Ridge.
You know, you look back, Daniel was hobbled up, I guess, in the second, maybe third ball game, and hasn't been 100% healthy. He's obviously healthy tonight, had a fantastic game going.
Wildcats first down, goal to go. 11:52 to play in the ball game. 19-0. Oak Ridge on top. Wildcats have Danny Paris back in at tailback. Here's Danny with the handoff. Danny to the 1-yard line. It'll be second down, goal to go. Farragut crowd was taken out of the game early as the Wildcats marched 80 yards for their opening score, and they were very loud before the ball game. They've got an enormous student section across there, and they haven't had much to cheer about.
You know, I was actually at Big Ed's before this, David, and there was a lot of Farragut people in there. They had the bullhorns. They were yelling and screaming. I thought, you know, you don't do that in a restaurant. I don't care even if it is Big Ed's, and I wasn't real happy, and I hope this shuts them up.
Wildcats come up to the line. Second down, goal to go. Spencer's back in at tailback. Connor Gulmire under center will sneak it himself to the goal line, take it across, no signal. Touchdown, Oak Ridge! Connor Gulmire gives Oak Ridge 6 more points. 25-0 over Farragut. 11:07 to play in the ball game, and I don't think Farragut's going to be the region champs again.
Man, what a great game. Just, I think a lot of people were worried, and especially, this Oak Ridge team just did so well, had one bad half and against Ooltewah last week, and then all of a sudden it raises a little bit of doubts. And, with the hype that this Farragut team had coming in, I think a lot of people were wondering what the outcome was. No doubt who the best team or the better team in this ball game is.
25-0 Oak Ridge. The Wildcats going for two. Here's the pitch to Spencer Gulmire. He stutter steps to the left and is going to be dropped by Rivez. One of the few times he's actually made the stop on him. The Wildcats on top, 25-0. 11:07 to play in the ballgame. We'll be back for another Oak Ridge kickoff in 60 seconds. David Clary, Scott Munger, Aaron Vargas back here. Darren Creek, our engineer of the station. 25-0. Oak Ridge on top. Of course, got still 11 minutes to go in the ball game. You feel pretty good. Of course, the winner of this ball game will be the first place team, and the #1 representative will get to play the 4th place team out of Region 1. And that was Science Hill the last time I looked, and that's who the Wildcats potentially could be playing in the first round if they can hold on and win this ball game. Same for Farragut. If Farragut were to come back, I think it'll be Science Hill. Andre Sterling and Marcus Huey, and they're very disappointed. You can tell by the body language of the Admirals. They didn't expect this kind of beating at all, as the Wildcats beat them 48-0 in the playoffs last year. As Kennedy kicks off once again, high kick's going to be fielded by the Admirals at the 7, 10, 15, 20, 25-yard line to the 30, and then the ball comes loose, I thought, as the Marcus Huey returns it to the 30-yard line. The stop is made by the Wildcats, and the Oak Ridge defense is back out on the field. 10:59 to play in the ball game. 25-0 Oak Ridge. Of course, a career night, obviously, for Spencer Gulmire, and Farragut people across the way, they've got to be feeling it. If Spencer has an average night, this game's a whole different story.
Yeah, absolutely. Just absolutely the definite difference maker in this ball game.
Up to the line will come Farragut. Two receivers to the left, one to the right, and I think it's going to have to force them to pass, and I don't think that's something they really want to do too much, as that one's going to be wide open. Pass is caught. Travis Davis in the ball game defending. Of course, he's in there to give Oak Ridge a little bit of breather for Connor Gulmire, and that was a good pass and a good throw. Travis has great speed and a nice catch, and here we go again. They've got the ball at the 35-yard line. They've moved it well between the 20s, but they haven't been able to put any points on the board.
Absolutely. That time the receiver actually got inside of Travis, and the quarterback just throws a gun, just throws a missile into him. Big pickup, big first down play for the Farragut Admirals.
Splitting out to the far left is Miller. Two receivers to the right. Single running back. Quarterback Tyler Powell brings him up once again. It'll be first down, 10 yards to go. Powell to pass. There's holding, no call. Pass is dropped by Jeff Courtney. Pass is incomplete. 10:27 to play. It'll be second down, 10 yards to go. You got to feel a little bit for poor old Jeff Courtney. He's been embarrassed a couple times by being just ran over by Spencer Gulmire, and there was a wide open pass, and nobody around him, and he drops it. It'll be Tyler Lane coming out of the ball game for the Wildcats. Oak Ridge playing with, let's see, John Baldwin and Jordan Murray. The tackles are Whaley and Summers. Second down, 10 yards to go. Ball is at the 35-yard line. He wants to pass, feeling pressure, in trouble, sacked all the way back at the 45-yard line. Troy Venable, Josh Whaley, Kevin Summers, Jake Vane there to drop him all the way back to the 45-yard line. It'll be third down and 20 yards to go as the Wildcats lead it 25-0 over their big rivals from West Knox County. 10 minutes to play in the ball game, the final regular season ball game of the 2005 season. It's postseason, do or die, starting a week from tonight. And right now, it looks like we'll be here at Blankenship Field. Two receivers split to the left, two receivers to the right. Shotgun formation once again for their quarterback, Tyler Powell. Third down, 19. Back to pass. Feels pressure, floats it up long, too long. Oh, great catch. He was inbounds at the 5-yard line. One of the few times they've actually been able to get one. The pretty good coverage down there. They had J.J. and Ravel. Miller's got it at the 6. First down, goal to go. Great pass.
It was a great pass. J.J. was there. He just mistimed his jump just a little bit. He was coming down as the ball was going over his hands, and a great catch by number 3, Javon Miller.
Ball is at the 6-yard line. The Wildcats, once again, watching Farragut move the ball inside the 10. They've posted a shutout to this point. Oak Ridge on top 25-0. 9:19 to play in the ball game. I can smell Big Ed's from here, just blowing into the booth here. Power eye to the right. Up to the line will come Farragut. Hand off to the back, trying to get wide. Moves the ball for a gain of about a yard or 2. The Admirals had to abandon their running game, which they do so well. Venable and Murray, they're on the stop for the Wildcats. 8:58 to play. Senior night here at Blankenship Field. The Wildcats and Farragut Admirals. The last time Farragut beat Oak Ridge, the seniors down here were in kindergarten. So it's been a long, long time since Farragut has tasted a victory in football over Oak Ridge. Power eye right. We're down to 8:41 to play. 25-0 Oak Ridge. Powell hands it off, big hole momentarily, then it closes right away. I thought it was huge, but then Tyler Trent just snuffs it and drops him. It'll be 3rd down, goal to go for the Admirals. The ball is at the 4-yard line. The Wildcats, and this is time consuming for the Admirals. We're only 8:20 and counting. The Wildcats on top 25-0. Trying to win their 9th game of the 2005 season and win the region championship for the 3rd consecutive year. Farragut 3rd down, goal to go, the ball at the 4. Here they come once again. Backfield, power eye right. Quarterback hands it off, hit in the backfield, drop for a loss. Another loss on the play. It'll be 4th and goal. Troy Venable on the stop. Nick Moore on the carry. It'll be 4th and goal. You have to go for it. Field goals will do absolutely nothing for the blue and silver. They have to go for it. It's 4th down and goal. A goal line stand for the Wildcat defense will be a great way for the Wildcats to get the ball back, and just a capstone on what the defense has done in this one. As the Oak Ridge crowd comes to their feet once again. 4th down, goal to go for Farragut. The ball at the 5-yard line. Power eye right. 7:27 to play. Quarterback rolls to his right. Looks, fires, wide open pass. He dropped it. And Oak Ridge takes over. It's another miscue for the Admirals. The man who dropped the pass was Adam Wigren. He dropped it. It would have been 6 points. The Wildcat offense is on the field again. 1st and 10.
He was wide open right in the middle of the field, and as the quarterback rolled out, he sees him, he throws the ball just a little late and just a little bit behind him, and as he turns, I believe it was Connor Gulmire, stuck his helmet right in his back. The ball goes free to the ground, and Oak Ridge will take over on their own right inside their 5-yard line.
25-0, 7:18 to play. The Wildcats will be hosting the first round of the playoffs so they can hold on for the final 7:18. Spencer Gulmire just a few yards away from becoming the all-time single-game rushing leader. He's going to get the chance right here. Spencer outside, moves the ball to the 5, about a yard on the play. Javon Miller on the stop. You know, records are good and all. We're going to need this young man, hopefully, for about 5 more ball games. And I know they're aware of how many yards he needs for this record, but records are just not important.
Well, actually, one of the coaches came in here and see how many yards he has. And one thing, too, we don't have the official book. So, we may be off. Now, we're probably a lot better than the official book, but it's not official. So you'd hate to see him, take him out when he thought he had the record when he didn't indeed have it.
It'll be 2nd down, 9 yards to go. Daniel Johnson, Spencer Gulmire. Connor wants to pass. Floats it up down the way. Pass. Oh, what a great catch by Alonzo Douglas. 1st and 10 Oak Ridge at the 29-yard line. 1st and 10 Oak Ridge. The Wildcats haven't had to throw much. Alonzo makes a great play.
Was a fantastic play. Just ran the fade route straight down the sideline, and the ball was thrown just a little high. Alonzo Douglas, just athletic as can be, goes up, gets the ball, brings it down for a big 1st down. The ball is just inside the 29-yard line.
Wildcats come up once again, splitting out a single man to the right. Spencer Gulmire, the tailback. Daniel Johnson, the fullback. Connor, 1st down, 10 yards to go. Pitch to Spencer Gulmire. Spencer runs over a man and carries him for about a couple yards. There's a big collision down on the field. Knocked the helmet off of Lee Travis, but Spencer picks up another 3 or 4 yards. And Aaron, what does that give him now?
Right now he's at 291. He's getting real close to that record.
10 yards unofficially away from the single game rushing record held by Eric Menifee. 301 yards. He had 5 touchdowns against Fulton in 1984. 5:43 to play. The Wildcats headed for the Region 2 championship. 2nd and 6. Here's Spencer again. Spencer moves the ball to the 35, 40, 45. There he goes. There's the record. 50, 45, 40. Spencer 30. Down to the 20-yard line. Down to the 15. A new record for Spencer Gulmire. The all-time single game rushing record, breaking Eric Menifee's mark. He's over 300 yards for the game.
Well, there's no doubt he's going to break it in anybody's book right there. I guess he picks up about 50, and just Spencer's just worn out. Just normally at first of the game he outruns those guys. He is just worn out, and once again Spencer just gives it everything he's got. Another big play by number 1, Spencer Gulmire.
25-0 Oak Ridge. 5 minutes, 19 seconds to play. The Wildcats come up. Connor, they've got Spencer out of the ball game. Here's Daniel Johnson running the ball. Rough shot to the 10, down to the 9-yard line. The Wildcats wanting 6 more points, up 25-0 over this Farragut defense, which was highly touted all season long, and they have played well all season long, but they cannot stop the run.
Well, they can't stop the run, but Oak Ridge has just made a living off that sweep. They've run the sweep to the right side, and every time it's not nearly as effective. They have run it well to the left side, but over there to the right side just absolutely have picked them to pieces.
Second down, 4 yards to go for the Wildcats. 25-0. Oak Ridge, Daniel Johnson, 5, 4, down to the 3-yard line. It'll be first down, goal to go for the Wildcats. The ball at the 3-yard line. 4 minutes, 24 seconds to play. Spencer Gulmire over 300 yards in one game.
You know, I believe they said 347 yards. I mean, man, that is impressive. That's about a third of my whole career.
As the Wildcats have the ball at the 3-yard line. But you were a good runner in your day. You had about 2,000 yards in your career. As the Wildcats come up, first down, goal to go. Daniel Johnson, again, the handoff, moves the ball to the goal line, but is denied the touchdown. Some of the Farragut faithful beginning to head on out of here. The Wildcats are going to host the first round of the playoffs. Potentially, the Wildcats could be home in rounds number 1, 2, and 4. The Wildcats could go on the road for the 3rd round. This win is going to send the Ooltewah Owls to Dobbins-Bennett for a first-round ball game.
Wow, I would buy a ticket to go to that game. That is going to be one heck of a ball game. There'll be a lot of excitement in that ball game.
Second down, goal to go. Connor under center. At the 1, Daniel Johnson gets the handoff, and 6 points. Daniel Johnson has had an outstanding ball game, and the Wildcats lead Farragut 31-0. 3 minutes, 27 seconds to play. The Admirals thought it was their year. Maybe in the playoffs. Get a chance to play them in the 3rd round if they're still around. And I believe this is a good team, but tonight, so much hype for this ball game, and they just didn't really come ready to play, it doesn't appear.
Well, you know, you talking about now, will the 3rd round automatically be at Farragut if those 2 teams meet again, or it'll be the higher seed to be at Oak Ridge, correct?
Correct. As the kick is up, good. 32-0. The Wildcats on top of Farragut. They will be the Region 2 champions. We'll take a break. We'll be back with the kickoff in 60 seconds. David Clary back here along with Scott Munger, Aaron Vargas, Darren Creek, our engineer of the station. Mike Sheehan has joined us here. Scott has gone down to the field for player interviews as the fans of the game have been recognized by Coach Chuck Carringer. 32-0 is our score. What a great game for Spencer Gulmire as the Wildcats prepare to kick off.
Well, it's just so exciting what he's done, David, to get 347 yards rushing one game. I didn't believe I'd ever see that. I really didn't. It's been a tremendous pleasure to be around this young man for 4 years. What a tremendous performance to end his regular season with this great rushing record.
Here's the kick by Oak Ridge, fielded by the Admirals at the 10 to the 15. Boom! Big stick by the Wildcats. Kevin Hilton annihilates him. Down at the 17-yard line, officially the 19. It'll be 1st and 10 Farragut. 3:22 to play. You know, Farragut came in with a lot of confidence coming into this ball game. I think they looked at the Ooltewah score from a week ago. They looked at their own Ooltewah score, and they just felt that Oak Ridge was going to be no match for them. The Wildcats, with 3:22 to play, have posted a shutout.
You know, nobody wants a loss, David, but last week's loss might have been the best thing that ever happened to the Oak Ridge Wildcats 2005.
Farragut still has their starters in, trying to get on the board here. 32-0 is our score. Quarterback hands it off on a draw play. Handoff goes to the man. He breaks a tackle, the 20, 30, 35, 40, 43-yard line. The Wildcats have some young players in the ball game. Alex Stewart is in the ball game. Travis Davis. For the most part, Oak Ridge has their main guys in there. I see JJ is in the ball game. John Baldwin, Paul Bingham. The Wildcats want a shutout. It's obvious, or they wouldn't have these guys in the ball game right now.
Yeah, Danny Parrish finally made the tackle, David, and he had to really hurry up to get up there and get him. And he hadn't had angle of pursuit, he would have got in there. But the Wildcats, I'm like you, they want a shutout here with 3 minutes and 2 seconds left, leading 32-0.
Ball is at the 43-yard line. Two receivers split to the left. The quarterback is Tyler Powell, four-man front for the Wildcats. Single running back, Powell back to pass. All day, floats a terrible pass. It's intercepted. Oak Ridge, J.J. Wells, 20, down to the 15. J.J. scores for the Wildcats. Picks off a pass, and Oak Ridge has 6 more points on the board. Floated it out there, and J.J. takes it home.
That was about a 52-yard return. He intercepted it. Nobody near him. Just went down the sideline, outran the cornerback all the way to the end zone. What a tremendous performance by J.J. Wells on that particular play. Great night for the Wildcats.
38-0, and the sophomore is going to get to kick the extra point for the Wildcats. 2:37 to play. J.J. Wells. Here's Hudson's kick. It's up, and it is good. 39-0 over Farragut. The region championship game. Exclamation mark for the Wildcats. They didn't want to give up the region title, and they're not.
No, they're not, David. You know, it's just like a little bit. You think about how Ooltewah and Oak Ridge, you know, last week it was our turn to get the interceptions and get beat. This week, we really took the air out of Farragut. Their passing game's not anything like it should be. That time, J.J. just broke on the ball perfectly, got it, and went up the sideline. And I promise you, he just took the air out of the Farragut Admirals, David. They're going to go home stinging after this unbelievable performance by the Wildcats tonight.
14 games in a row, the Wildcats have beaten the Farragut Admirals. The last win for Farragut, 1993, an overtime win here, 21-20. The Wildcats have beaten them here in 2:37, 14 consecutive times, 39-0. As the Wildcats, James Branson will kick off for the Wildcats. Back to receive the kick will be Andre Sterling. James Branson to kick off for Oak Ridge. 39-0. Who would have thought it? As the Wildcats prepare to the kick, I knew it would be a tight ball game, and it was. 13-0 at the halfway mark. Look at the body language of the Admirals. They are so devastated.
Yeah, their shoulders are drooping, David, and you know it's taken the wind out of them as Oak Ridge is preparing to kick off again. And you know the Wildcats are going to walk out of here with a tremendous victory over the Farragut Admirals.
James Branson preparing to kick off for the Wildcats, and here it is by the senior. Hits it well. Going to be bouncing and rolling inside the 15-yard line. Picked up at that point, up the field, and the Wildcats stop him at around the 21. So that's where Farragut will take over. And let's see if they bring Tyler Powell back in to throw the ball once again. He has struggled, has thrown 3 interceptions to my memory in this one. And let's see if Dominique Brown makes a stop. Nice kick by James. And it'll be Farragut's offense once again.
You know, David, Dewey Warren told me that he didn't like to be hit a whole lot. And the Wildcats, you got to give them credit, Dave. They put a lot of pressure on that young man. He's had to hurry his throws. And when you do that, you have a tendency to loft the ball a little bit. And that's exactly what's happened tonight. And the Wildcats have really keyed on those passes and intercepted them for points.
2.5 minutes to play in the ball game. Quarterback in the ball game, new quarterback. Handoff goes to the back, belted in the backfield. They'll lose 3 or 4 more yards. Wildcats make the stop. Oak Ridge makes the stop as Michael Lawrence is the quarterback. Troy Venable makes the stop. The Wildcats have in the ball game Dominique Brown. JJ's coming out. Good game for him. Travis Davis is in. Ravel's still in the ball game. Wildcats also have, looks like, Andrew Kirkpatrick in the ball game. Gaston Mitchell is in the ball game. The Wildcats, I don't know if they have the right personnel. They were Casey Reed's in the ball game. Jordan Murray is in the ball game. Gilbert Cruz in the ball game. Second down, 12 yards to go. Minute 55 to play. Handoff to the back, trying to get wide once again, and he is. Moves the ball forward for about enough yardage for a first down as he brings the ball across the 30. It has been Spencer Gulmire tonight, over 300 yards in the ball game. Probably not the game we all anticipated. We thought, of course, I wonder if the statewide audience or the southern audience turned it off early because the Wildcats have just totally dominated this one.
They certainly have, but if they did, they missed one of the finest performances by one of the best running backs in the history of Oak Ridge High School.
Backfield, offset eye once again. 1st and 10 Farragut, the ball at their own 32. Hand off to the back, and he runs into the Wildcats. It'll be a gain of no gain. It'll be actually a loss of a couple yards. Mitchell there for the stop. Venable, Jamie Qualls is in the ball game. Kevin Summers, JJ's coming back in for Dominique Brown. I thought he was. Now Jordan's going to come out of the ball game. No need to get him hurt. In fact, there's no need to have any of these starters in the ball game. Ravel's going to come out of the ball game now. Should have been out a long time ago. 1:05 to play here. 39-0 our score. Jeff Courtney limps out to the right side wide. Single man off to the left. Once again, the quarterback, Michael Lawrence, 6'3", 192-pounder. 39-0 Oak Ridge. Lawrence hands it off to the back, moves the ball, first down and more. JJ's going to try to grab him. He is going to be bopped pretty good at the 46-yard line. 4 seconds to play. That's Sterling on the carry, and he's had a sterling performance in this one. But it's not enough, though, as the Wildcats, Gaston Mitchell makes the stop along with Dominique Brown. Wildcats on top, 39-0. There's only 39 seconds to play. Here comes Big Ben Luther in the ball game for the Wildcats. Ben's going to take over for Casey Reed. Wildcats also getting Michael King in the ball game. First down, 10 yards to go for Farragut, 25 seconds to play. The Wildcats are the Region 2 champions. Hand off to the back, trying to get outside, slung down, doesn't go down, breaks a tackle, has free sailing if he can get to the outside. He does move the ball for a first down and more, rumbles down to the 30-yard line, a first down with 9 seconds to play. Took a lot of time off the clock. Andre Sterling, 6 seconds to play. J.J. Wells ends up making the stop for the Wildcats. Oak Ridge getting another player in the ball game. Jesus Rizzo in the ball game. Gilbert Cruz is checking out. As soon as the chains are put down, the clock is going to start. No, Farragut, they are so intent of not being shut out here. They call a timeout with 6 seconds to play. It'll be first down, 10 yards to go. The final play of the ball game. The Wildcats have just beaten the Farragut Admirals 39-0, and they'll officially have beaten them here in 6 seconds. Lawrence to pass, throws it, lobs it up there, pass is batted away, incomplete, and there's your ball game. 39-0. The Wildcats are the Region 2 champions yet another time as the Wildcats and Admirals stroll out to the center of the field. Farragut only had lost one time. That was to Central the first of the season. The Wildcats are the Region 2 champions, and they did it, and it wasn't a fluke. They beat Farragut up and down the field all night.
Yeah, and there goes Darth Vader with the dark side down on the field, David. Someone dressed up in a Darth Vader outfit going out on the field. What a, what a quotation mark for the Wildcats. The dark side definitely came to play tonight, shutting out the Farragut Admirals. They've average 25 or 30 points a game all year long, and to come in here at Oak Ridge in this huge playoff ramification ball game, the final game of the year of the regular season, and for this to happen. Now Farragut's going to have to go on the road, David, and that's, oh, they won't. They will be at home for the first game of the playoff. Okay, well, that's good. They finished second, I guess. So, Farragut's had a great year, and as you said, if they continue to win through the playoffs, they can, we could well see them again up the road, and I wouldn't care if they came back here again.
Gentlemen, remember, it's just beginning. It's just beginning. This is the first of 5 more to go. We got 5 more to go. Seniors, remember what I said. Every night could be your last. Play with desperation. Play with team in your heart. Play with team in your heart. Play with desperation in your gut. Play with desperation in your gut. I'm proud of you guys. Good job tonight. Good job. Way to bounce back. Good job. Break it out. Break it out. Give us good start. Family on 3. 1, 2, 3. Family. Yeah.
Hey. All right, first of all, I got Spencer down here. Got to start with Spencer. Spencer, man, we've come to play a lot of nights, but tonight there must have been something special.
Yeah, senior night coming out here, and after the loss to Ooltewah, we've known we shouldn't have lost. I mean, Ooltewah's a great team, but we kind of gave it up in the second half. And we wanted to come out and put 4 quarters together, and we did that tonight for the first time.
Absolutely. First time you put all 4 quarters together, offense, defense, but of course this offense, unstoppable. Absolutely. You ran as hard as I've ever seen you run in your 4 years. You know, you walked down the steps, what could very possibly be your last time. It's got to be a little something special.
It was something special coming in, knowing if we lost. We're 3rd place on the region, and we're on the road, and we just wanted to walk down them stairs at least one more time. So we came out tonight with a lot of stuff to think about, and we came out and did a good job.
Absolutely. 347 yards, new school record. Of course, I didn't get to congratulate you last week. All-time leading rusher in Oak Ridge history. This community, this town, this team is very proud of Spencer Gulmire.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You know, you start off the game, of course, you didn't get the ball the first 4 or 5 plays, and then all of a sudden the Spencer bag opens up, just ran it down the throat. Of course, the first play of the scrimmage, the Courtney, the fullback, the free safety, stick your helmet right. That kind of sets the tone for the rest of this ball game.
As we knew coming in, we're going to have to be physical with this Farragut team, who coming into these games supposedly had the best defense. They were one of the hard-nosed defenses in our region, and we knew we had to come down and just play some old-style football.
Absolutely, and then of course you go in, you take a 7-0 lead, but with the big play coming back, they got you pinned in down here, 93 yards for the touchdown. What an incredible run that was.
Yeah, our offensive line did a great job of opening up holes all night. I mean, they came together tonight. We had some young guys playing early on in the season. A lot of people were doubting our offensive line, but they definitely showed tonight they're one of the best offensive lines in the state.
You know, I've known you well enough, and I think you're going to be the first person. Daniel Johnson at fullback absolutely owned this right cornerback over here.
He did. I don't remember what number he was, but every night, I mean, all night, we're in the toss sweep, and he came out, and just wherever he was, I was going to follow, because all night he busted his butt, getting out there, putting good blocks on the corners, the backs, the safeties, and the linebackers.
Yeah, absolutely. I know you're very proud of him. Stepped up. Leonard not playing tonight. Just a fun game to watch. In your wildest imagination, did you think you guys were going to win this game 39-0?
No, I didn't. I had so much respect for this Farragut team. I know a bunch of the players. I know Nick Rivez. Worked out with him this summer, and I knew they were going to be good. And I knew they were going to be hungry for this game because we've beaten them the last few years, every year since I've been here. But we just came out, and I think we won it a little more.
Absolutely. This great performance by this ball team. Next week, we're starting playoffs. Season 2 starts, cranks up. Thank goodness it's back here at the ship.
Yeah, it all starts out 0-0. Every team's 0-0. Coming into next week, you got to win every game. So, I mean, hopefully we can get our heads straight. We'll have a good week of practice and come out ready next Friday.
Well, Spencer, I just want to be the first to congratulate you. What an outstanding football game tonight.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Jake Vane.
Spencer, what's up, man?
0 on the scoreboard against a very potent Farragut offense. Did you imagine that you guys were going to shut those guys out?
Didn't imagine we shut them out, but you know, it doesn't matter. We believe as soon as we stepped on this field that we would shut them out.
I'll tell you what, the defense just absolutely stepped it up. They knocked on the door a few times. You guys, of course, the 4th down here on this goal line, had a chance to score a couple times in this game. Just the defense stiffened their neck and just kept them out of the end zone.
Yeah, I mean, you know, they don't call us the dark side for nothing. We're good. That was just about pride back there. I certainly don't want to let someone, you know, march down all the way on our field and then score in our end zones. It's going to happen tonight.
Absolutely. I thought you guys played a great game. You're walking down the steps, what could very easily be your last time. I know it's got, it's senior night, it's Farragut, it's for the regional championship. There's a lot riding on this ball game.
There was a lot, and it was kind of scary thinking that could be the last time. But we came out here and made sure that it wasn't.
Man, it was just a great performance. Special teams looked great. Of course, Spencer right here, man, what a performance he had.
I got to give it for Spencer. I love this guy. Now, he's definitely my Mr. Football candidate. Now, growing up and playing with him, it's just been great. He's had a great game today.
You know, you're speaking of that, you know, this is a regional audience tonight, and they saw what Oak Ridge football is all about.
Yeah, they did. I mean, it was such a great way to showcase what Oak Ridge can do, and, you know, the great tradition of Oak Ridge. It was awesome.
I'll tell you what, great ball game. Playoffs start next week. Even as big, as intense this game was tonight, you got to step it up a notch.
Yeah, because, you know, we could have lost this game and still played. We lose next week, and our season's over.
One and done. It looks like, I believe, right now you're playing Science Hill. You probably don't know a whole lot about them. Coming in from Johnson City, a storied tradition there, I believe, actually where Steve Spurrier played football. So they're coming to the Ship next week. Should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's going to be great. It doesn't matter who we play, we just got to get focused and beat them.
Jake, congratulations, region champions. There's a doubt there for a little bit, but you guys took care of business tonight.
Yeah, there was a little doubt last week, but, you know, once we stepped on the field, we knew what to do.
Great game, Jake.
Thank you.
Daniel Johnson over here. Daniel, what a ball game. I know, you know, you've been hobbled off and on all year, but tonight it looks like you were healthy and you obviously came to play.
Yeah, it was region championship in Farragut. It had to come to play. I mean, it's a big game.
It was a big game, and I tell you what, I know Spencer well enough to say he's got a little asterisk by his name, and it goes to you. You just absolutely did a phenomenal job of blocking on the corners, especially tonight.
Thank you. I had to get, it helps the team out. I just have to get out there and block for them. And I mean, I like blocking, so whatever helps.
Well, absolutely. And I tell you what, then, you know, they kept thinking, Farragut kept thinking sweep, and then you come back with a little trap on the inside, and they didn't have an answer for that either.
Yeah, the line did a good job of blocking the trap tonight.
They really did. Just a fantastic game. You know, 39-0, all the excitement. You know, one of the biggest ball games that has been on this field in quite some time, in my opinion. And Oak Ridge, you guys absolutely took care of business.
Yeah, we just had to come back from a big loss last week. We got upset last week, but just had to come back from that and beat Farragut tonight. And it's great we got a shutout.
Absolutely. Defense, offense, special teams, you blank them. Fantastic effort. Congratulations once again, region champions, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you.
All right, Daniel, appreciate it. Once again, on the field at Blankenship Field, a victorious Wildcat region champs wins over Farragut 39-0.
Now he's getting it.
Hooah!